Cable Bahamas Limited became a VAT registrant and is mandated to charge and collect VAT on behalf of the government of the Bahamas. Effective January 1st, 2015, VAT will be added at a rate of 7.5% on all your rev services. As a result, VAT will be included on all your statements beginning January 2015, and you will be required to pay your bill in full inclusive of the VAT. To learn more about the inclusion of your VAT services, visit www.cablebahamas.com/VAT.
The rollout of VAT leaves some Bahamians pained and confused. This as government officials address price gouging, plus another New Year's Day Junkanoo win for the Valley Boys. We've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight. I'm Bonnie Toot and NB12 starts now. Topping news tonight, amid lingering concerns about the implications of value-added tax, the new tax was implemented at a rate of 7.5% on Thursday. Bahamians took to social media to post restaurant and food store receipts reflecting price changes. Jasmine Brown caught up with several shoppers today to get their views.
It was the first business day after the implementation of value-added tax, and those customers we spoke to today gave mixed reactions about the new tax regime. On January 1st, value-added tax became a reality for consumers in the Bahamas. Following its rollout, many consumers headed to supermarkets across the country today where they experienced VAT tacked onto their grocery bills for the first time. Our news team also headed into several stores on the island, including Super Value in the Golden Gates Shopping Center, Meat Max and Groceries on Carmichael Road, and Extra Value in Oaksfield. And here's what we found. While each store charged under $1 for a bottle of water, their prices varied. The cheapest bottle of water was sold at Meat Max. That bottle cost 55 cents. VAT on the item was an additional 4 cents. Extra Value also charged an additional 4 cents for VAT, added to a bottle of water costing 59 cents. The most expensive bottle of water was sold at Super Value. That bottle had a base price of 79 cents. But after an additional 6 cents, VAT charged to the overall cost was 85 cents. We caught up with customers as they exited those stores today. Patrons like this man say while VAT is here to stay, he still thinks it's bad for the Bahamas.
Should have considered the poor, because no merchant, no business place would feel the effect of it as much as the poor and the needy, because everything trickled down to the poor and the needy.
Then there were those who did not seem to be bothered by VAT.
It is what it is. You have to pay it. It's going to benefit the country, so I have no problems with it.
It's basically what I expected, and I understand why the government is doing it. It's a necessary thing.
What I expected from it, I used to it. Because where I come from, we have tax on everything. I'm from Jamaica.
Well, if you go to America, we pay tax. So what's the difference? In the Bahamas, we lay things free too much. Pay.
Others, like Helen Knoll, said whether they like it or not, they have to pay in order to get their essential items. So their only option is to live with it.
If we didn't have to eat, then we didn't have to worry about the value tax, but we got to eat.
Bahamians scared of change. If it has to be done, it has to be done. Ain't nothing we can do. Things have to be going on.
This is our home. We have anywhere to go. We have to live with it. Just like any other country, it's their rule and regulation. They have to live with it.
While many disagreed on VAT's impact, they all agreed on the need to shop smarter.
When I go in the shop now, I just know what to pick up from what not.
You know, because if you need it, you got to get it. It doesn't matter. All you got to do is just watch your pocket.
Others called on the government to do what is promised by properly policing the new tax and spend the money wisely.
You know, I understand that the government needs to implement taxes and to affect the country in that perspective.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Brown.
VAT implementation has raised concerns about price gouging as consumers question whether some businesses are using the new tax as an excuse to dramatically increase their prices. Kyle Joaquin tells us more.
With value-added tax now in effect, perhaps the biggest concern of consumers is price gouging. No one wants to pay more than they should for certain items. Chairman of the Price Control Commission, E.J. Bowe, says his team is out in full force and on the lookout for stores with overpriced items. Now here's a little warning for those proprietors thinking about raising their prices above the legal limit.
Oh, that's in violation, and there's for every item which you're overpricing on bread basket items is $5,000 cold cash for every item.
Every item on the shelf?
Yes, as many as what we will take and go to the courts with. And once convicted, that's what they have to pay. Consumers have been taken advantage of for too long, and we have to protect them. Our job in the Consumer Protection Agency is to protect the consumer of this country, and that we must do. And we have to get out there and protect them. Believe me, the consumers need the protection.
In addition to the $5,000 fine, the items will be confiscated and given to charity.
Because once we confiscate and they are convicted of, say, 2 cases of corned beef, that's the two whole cases.
That's confiscated.
Yeah. Oh yes, right. And then when once convicted, the court will say to us, you could give some to a particular charity, and then we add the other charities there. But
Bowe says from what he's been seeing so far with the lowering of duty on some items, it hasn't been passed on to the consumers. And so that's one aspect he said price control is looking out for. Now it's important for consumers to know that when you walk in a store, the price excluding VAT as well as the VAT inclusive price should be displayed by the item. Some stores like the Extra Value Food store we were in today did not have the VAT inclusive price displayed. However, Bowe said management has assured him that VAT is calculated at the cash register and placed on the receipt, and that the VAT inclusive pricing should be displayed by the items momentarily. Well, how do you know what is the maximum price you should be paying for each item, particularly the breadbasket items? Well, according to Bowe, there should be a listing as soon as you enter the store.
All stores selling breadbasket items must have a breadbasket schedule. The schedule should be posted in an area where you as a consumer could see it quite clearly. And you have a chance to look through that schedule, and you should see that the mayonnaise, the maximum, because we set the maximum ceiling, right? And they are the prices which are listed in that schedule. So if you pick up a can of corned beef, Libby's corned beef, you could go to that schedule and see what the price is, or what it's supposed to be in the store.
The penalty for not having that schedule displayed, Bowe said, is $2,500. Now, for those who like to purchase their fruits and veggies but want to know how much they'll weigh before they get to the cash register, here's an interesting fact Bowe says you should know.
Anytime you're selling anything by the pound or grams, whatever you want to call it, right? The law states that a scale should be in that area for the consumer to weigh the goods.
The price control chairman says most importantly, if the store you're in does not have a VAT certificate displayed, you should not be paying the 7.5%. So if you were to go into a store and notice the prices are higher than the legal max, contact Price Control at 356-9391. Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Well, Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis defended government's decision to implement VAT. He encouraged Bahamians to have an open mind and to try and understand the government's position. Simone Davis has that angle.
Davis says just as it is a challenge for Bahamians to now accept VAT, it was a challenge for the government to implement it. The Deputy Prime Minister told NB12 that the government knew that it would be a hard pill for Bahamians to swallow, but something had to be done to save the economy.
Change is always a challenge. It's a challenge not only in its implementation, it's a challenge in acceptance as well. I think what we as people have to recognize is that the essential services for governance has to be paid for, and it's only paid for by our contribution to a fund.
In his defense of the Christie administration's decision to implement value-added tax, the DPM compared the Bahamas' new tax to taxes in the United States, mainly the state of Florida, where thousands of Bahamians shop every year. Florida currently has a 6% sales tax rate, which Davis says is not much different from the 7.5% tax rate in the Bahamas. He asserted that if Bahamians can spend thousands of dollars during shopping sprees in Florida and pay the 6% tax with no hesitation, they can pay VAT at home.
We do it when we travel. Why can't you do it while you're home? You know, sales tax, and in most of these, in the United States particularly, where we go to travel, to shop, they have sales tax, and there are other taxes that are exacted by the county for other things. For example, in Miami, they built the Miami Marlins Stadium recently. That's being paid up. That's being paid back by taxes.
The immediate effects of the new taxes were felt in food stores, restaurants, and utility services. However, that has not yet been applied to gasoline. When we visited 2 Shell stations, a Rubis station, and 2 Esso stations, the prices were unchanged. One Shell customer said he was relieved not to pay VAT on gas. According to a source from the Bahamas Petroleum Retailers Association, members were conflicted between the law regulating fuel and the VAT law. However, the source said owners had agreed they should charge VAT. Government officials plan to investigate the matter today. The Deputy Prime Minister acknowledged it will take some time for Bahamians to adjust to the idea of paying VAT.
I just want us just to be open-minded and look at what we do. And if you could do it there, why can't we do it here? And they pay up to 6%. And the person who go and shop and pay 6% sales tax, they also pay income tax on their salary. We don't pay that.
Davis suggested that Bahamians learn how to budget and save their money while adjusting to VAT. Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
One item consumers don't have to worry about paying more for is newspapers. NASA Guardian General Manager Brent Dean says newspapers cost $1 and that's all readers will have to pay.
It's important for Bahamians to know that the Nassau Guardian and the Freeport News are responsible for paying VAT. So when you as a consumer go out there, the cover price on both papers is $1. That's what it is to you. We're the ones that are going to go and pay the government of the Bahamas VAT. This is a new transition for everybody. The whole country is getting used to it. So obviously everybody's having little slip-ups here and there. But that's something we really want to emphasize, that, you know, it's $1 and that's all you have to worry about. The other part, the VAT, is something that we'll deal with.
Dean says their aim is to avoid confusion.
It's already there for the paper, so the people who are selling it don't have to worry about it. It's $1 and everything's included, and it's just as simple as.
In other news, the Valley Boys stormed to victory in the 2015 New Year's Day Jump Canoe Parade after a disappointing 4th-place finish on Boxing Day. Under the theme Pirates of the Caribbean, the Valley Boys reclaimed the New Year's Day title with 90.82 points. One family came in second with 88.45 points, followed by Roots, who placed third with 87.81 points. The Shell Saxon Superstars rounded out the competition with 85.33 points. Music Makers and Prodigal Sons were disqualified because they did not meet the numbers requirements. Valley Boys Public Relations Rep Kishlane O'Brien says the victory was the group's redemption following its disappointing defeat on Boxing Day.
It's fabulous, but if you know anything about the Valley, we took our 4th place position, we analyzed what happened, we thought the best thing to do at the time was to remain focused, particularly because the New Year's Day parade was fastly approaching. And then also too, we are responsible for so many young people in our group. We're responsible for the momentum of the group. And so therefore the leadership committee ensured everybody understood that yes, we came forth. It was quite disappointing, but let's move forward.
Valley won 2 of the major categories, including Best Lead Costume and Best Shirley Street Performance. The group captured second in music, banner, and choreography.
The Valley's motto is in pursuit of excellence. Excellence in every sense of the word. And we're all humans, and so therefore we will fall short once in a while, as we did with the Boxing Day Parade. But the organization, the preparation, the overwhelming crowd, fans and crowd participation, as well as our own member enthusiasm and performance is what really solidified the deal.
Winning Best Music was One Family, which also captured the top score in the banner category. Roots got third in music and banner, but captured the top prize for choreography and the top 5 spots in the free dancing category. Saxons won Best Lead Costume and Best Off-the-Shoulder Costume. Colors Junkanoo Group won in the B category, followed by Fancy Dancers and Conquerors for Christ. Still to come on NB12, a Haitian migrant escapes from the Carmichael Road Detention Center. The details are after this break.